Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a Divine Masculine Confessions reading. So the reason that I'm doing this is because I just put up a survey or like a little poll on my community tab on my Mystic Moon channel here. And I gave you guys some, little examples of what you wanted to see more of or continue to see on my channel, and the Divine Masculine Confessions is definitely outweighing the rest. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to take other things into consideration, but I was just trying to figure out what I was going to bring to the collective today, and I thought, you know what, I'll start there. So this particular reading is going to be a little bit more than just Divine Masculine Confessions. We're going to go into your story, we're going to go into the ascension, the journey, the healing, how your masculine's seeing you, what spirit wants you to know. It's going to be a long one, so if you guys like that sort of reading, go ahead and stay tuned. And of course, you guys just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. I do tend to channel for those that are experiencing like a challenge or separation, so keep that in mind. But I know that everybody has got something different going on, so just apply everything how it fits your situation. Same thing with the he or she. I do tend to say he and him for masculine and she or her for feminine. It's just the way that I channel, so just again, apply it all how it fits your situation. All the decks I'll be using will be listed down below, as well as this beautiful orgonite, which is called the Divine Masculine Nude, created by Michelle from Wing & Bell. And any kind of announcements will be in the description box down below. I have a new newsletter that has some rituals for the new moon of every single month, so be sure to check that out. And then I also have some brand new decks that are available in my shop and new services and sales. So everything is down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, because sometimes, even if you guys have been subscribers to my channel for a long time, sometimes, it'll just unsubscribe you. Same thing with notifications. Make sure you have those notifications turned on. And I hate that I have to say that now. I didn't have to used to say any of this stuff. But times have changed, you guys. So anyways, let's get into the reading. So the very first thing that we're going to focus on is the energy of this love story between you and your person. So this could really describe when the two of you came together, what has developed, what the instant connection was, etc. So we're going to go into this deck right here called the Star-Crossed Lover's Oracle by Aqua Moonlight. So let's get into this. What is the little snapshot energy of your love story with this masculine? And I'm going to be doing this reading from the feminine's perspective, so just keep that in mind, since the 95 or 98% of my viewers are feminines. It's just the way it goes. All right. What is this vibration of your love story? Ooh, I search for you endlessly. Interesting. So there's a little bit of this searching constantly. So if you are in separation with this person, what I'm seeing here is that this person might search for you endlessly in other things or other people, right? Always coming up short because they can't quite match your energy or the significance of your connection that you had with them with anyone else. So I'm getting that. That could be you as well, just a little bit of both. We have come closer. I feel you slipping away. Interesting. So there's this feeling that perhaps maybe you and this person have been separated over a period of time, and so they feel you slipping away, or maybe sometimes you feel them slipping away. There might be times where sometimes you just wake up and you feel their energy, and other times you don't. So I just feel like this energy, it's like sometimes with you guys, and other times you're just doing other things, which is kind of healthy actually, because if someone's too involved in your energy all the time, it makes it very difficult for you to focus on other stuff. So this is good. All right, what else? I need you now. Wow. But there is some obsessive energy here. There's this energy where people really, really desire one another. People really, really feel that like emptiness and that ache inside. So I feel like sometimes for both of you, even though you're in this separation, if that's your story, it's like you guys still ache for one another. There's this endless aching, this little bit of an emptiness. You are so beautiful. So there's definitely this feeling that you guys both have towards one another, or you're very physically attracted to one another. It could be that you just see this person and they see you as a beautiful soul. So there's definitely that energy too. And we have you and I, we came so close. Wow. There's this song called You and I. And I'm going to try to remember, you guys. I don't always do this, even though I say I'm going to, because by the time I'm done with the reading, it's like, whew, I'm on another, like in another world. But there's this song called You and and I can't pronounce the name of the band, but it's like PVARIS, I believe. And it's in one of the decks that I created. It's either the Divine Masculine Haunted or the Divine Feminine Ghosted. So it's in those playlists. If I don't put the link down below, go ahead and find it there. But it's an amazing song. And I just feel like that is the vibration of this connection. It's about two people that are at a distance from one another. It's about two people that are in separation, but there's like this beautiful energy that still exists between them. So it's so funny. It's like star-crossed lovers. That's what this connection is. There's definitely something there. And maybe you and this person came so close, but then it slipped away, right? But I think that this is really cool because we have two cards that show roses here. And so red roses, that could be significant to you and this person or this connection. There could definitely be that beautiful energy there, right? I'm also getting Send Her My Love by Journey. Roses Never Fade, Memories Remain. That is also in one of my decks too. So anyways, you guys, that's what we have for your energy of the snapshot of your connection. So just take that if it resonates. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just basically see how the masculine is showing up and the ascension that's taking place right now for this masculine in the connection with this Voyage of the Soul Oracle, and just see where he is at right now, okay? Despite what's going on between the two of you, where is he at individually? And we're going to combine it with the Intuit Tarot deck. So let's see where this masculine is at in his ascension process. What is this ascension process that's going on for this masculine right now? We have cleanse, salt, sage, soak, detox, revive. Okay, so there might be some things right now that this masculine is either in the process of purging or needs to purge, trying to purge. Let's see where this is at. We have a lack of growth. So I'm sorry to tell you guys, this doesn't mean that this masculine hasn't grown at all, but there's something that he needs to purge that maybe he's not purging. So there could be a stuck energy here. It says a lack of growth, lack of effort, bogged down, regression, stagnant, aimless, not worth the effort. There's something that either this masculine is involved in. It could just be a way of living, a way of life, a way of thinking, a way of being, or it could even be in another connection. Because clearly what I saw before, you guys, is that even though this masculine could be with other people, he still searches for you. So there's still this empty. He still keeps coming up short, even in other connections. That's what I'm seeing here. So he's still not quite able to quench that thirst that he has for his feminine. So right now, it's like he's just not really growing. There seems to be a lack of growth here. There seems to be something that he needs to purge that maybe he's still toxically holding on to. So this is in the works. And now we have emotions: water, cry, purge, balancing, and releasing. Interesting. So we have two cards that really indicate the same energy to me: purging, cleansing, detox. Is this masculine holding in his emotions? Is he in touch with his emotions? What is going on? So I feel like perhaps this would absolutely help this masculine to move forward and to ascend to the next level. But maybe he is holding back his emotions. Maybe he is stagnant, stifled, bogged down, refuses to feel these emotions. So let's see what's wanting to come up with this. The Ace of Swords, a lack of ideas. Reevaluating, misinformation, clouded judgment, hostility, blocked communication, redirect. So he's not in touch with his higher self. He's not in touch with he's not in touch with clear thinking with this Ace of Swords reverse. So to me, the Swords energy as well as the Earth energy, there's not any kind of heart energy here. Now, this doesn't mean that the masculine doesn't have a heart, but I do feel like he is not really in connection with his emotions. He's pushing it down. He's utilizing head over heart things. He's not using his heart space to connect with his true self. He's using his ego or his rational thinking or just very practical types of ideas in order to get through life right now. So to me, it's very much of a survival state. is where this masculine is at. So it would really do this masculine a lot of good if he could just let go of whatever it is that he's trying to hold on to. He feels like whatever he has right now, or whatever where like this false sense of security that he's strong right now, if he doesn't let something go, or if he embraces his emotions, he'll be weak. So he's trying to hold it together, but what this is doing is it's blocking him. So this masculine right now, I'm seeing, is blocked in his ascension process right now. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't get through it. It just means that's where he's currently at. So he's trying to purge. There's a lot of water energy that's with this masculine, and water represents flow. It represents cleansing, purity, tranquility, peace, but it also represents our emotions. And I just feel that's where there's a lack of growth. That's where there's a lack of ideas. And I think it's very interesting that we have two cards that both say a lack of growth and a lack of ideas. That's crazy, you guys. So there is a lack on this masculine's ascension journey right now. Okay. So that's just where he's at. So now let's see where you are at, feminine. Where is the feminine at right now on her spiritual ascension journey? So this is the Voyage of the Soul Oracle by Aqua Moonlight. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. All right, where is this feminine at on her ascension journey? Okay, so we have justice, decisions, fairness, review, laws, consequences. Okay, so we're going to jump into another deck. This is called the Honest Truth Tarot, and see where she is at on her ascension journey right now with justice. This one just wanted to pop out. You guys can see, so I will take it. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is practical and trustworthy. Very cool. So in a way, it's like the feminine is kind of lined up with this masculine, but to me, and it's not like the feminine is more advanced or better than. I know that sometimes people can say those types of things in the comments. That's not what we're suggesting. I'm just reading the energy. Where she's at right now with her decisions, where she's kind of like basing her thought process, it is very practical and logical like the masculines, but this is less ego. This is more ideas to move forward in her life, to build perhaps a business, to come up ideas where she can learn and expand her horizons, expand her, resume of life. So she's a willing participant. She's willing to learn new things. She's willing to apply herself in the physical world. And maybe the masculine is too, but there's something that's bogging him down. And I feel like the feminine has a little bit more, less restrained than masculine. I feel like she has a little bit more of the ability to move forward and to make better decisions that are going to actually help her in the long run. She trusts, it says, practical and trustworthy. She trusts the ideas that are coming to her. She trusts the opportunities that Spirit is bringing her way. She realizes that, you know what, if this connection is not coming together right now, she's going to do something else in the meantime. Work on herself. Do something that matters. Go towards her purpose and mission. These are all very positive, powerful things. And we have chapters: light after darkness, rise, new life, dawn, and unfold. Ooh, very interesting. So let's see what this is about. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords, you guys. Wow, Moon's energy. We have running away, hidden dishonor, lies. Okay, you guys, so this is the deal. It says light after darkness. I feel like for some of you feminines, maybe you're still kind of stuck in a little bit of that energy, but I really don't think so. I think that, yes, the Seven of Swords hurts. It sucks. It stinks. Things that maybe we hid from that we didn't face. Things that maybe other people hid from us, that sucked too. Maybe we took it personally, right? But the fact that you guys are willing to make decisions now, kind of like weigh the fairness, weigh the karma, weigh everything that happened here, all the, that old chapter, you're willing to move forward. You're willing to move past this energy. You're willing to forgive the lies. And that doesn't mean that you're forgiving this behavior. Like, it's okay that you lied to me. It's okay that you did these things to me. And if you want to come back and do it to me again, that's okay too. No, that's not what we're talking about. But we're talking about, I'm no longer going to sip on the poison of this. I'm no longer going to be attached to the darkness of this. I'm no longer going to stay stuck and drowned in the sorrow of all of this sea of lies, this sea of deception, or whatever has happened here with Seven of Swords. I'm not going to get lost on the dark side of the moon anymore. I'm going to go towards the light side of the moon, and I'm going to illuminate my shadow, and I'm going to see what's real, and I'm going to weigh my options and figure out what the best move for me is right now. And the best move for me is right now is to go towards a new life, open up a new chapter, and just kind of see what unfolds. So for me, this feminine is really just kind of letting go and just letting God, actually. That's what I'm seeing. Letting go and letting God. I don't know how else to put it, but that's what it is. So if this decision that she's making to better herself, to continue forward on her purpose and mission, leads her and the masculine back together, great. And if it doesn't, she's not wasting any time. She didn't lose anything. As a matter of fact, she's gained so much. She's gained so much because this has really helped her to face her shadows, to do personal inventory, to work on herself, to heal, to empower herself, to cause her to be the best version of herself in this lifetime. So she doesn't have to take the bitterness with her. She can take the sweet. Okay, it's all a choice. So that is beautiful. So that's how the feminine is ascending at this particular time, you guys. So masculine and you just may not be on the same page, and that's okay. But remember, you don't have to take this as a negative. You can take this as, you know what? Now I have more time to basically do other things that I came here to do. Okay, so that's still beautiful. All right, so now we're going to go into the energy here of what shadows, what challenges, what things have been triggered upon coming together. Okay, what do we bring out in each other? Those shadows, because I could see a little bit of that for both of you guys. So we're going to go into the Heart and Soul Love Oracle by Celestial Forecast by Carrie and just see what has been triggered here. What's coming up on a deep soul level? All right, let's take a look here. What's coming up on a deep soul level here? Okay, so we have the future. We also have heartbreak. And we have, oh, there's another rose, you guys. So there's something about the rose. I know that there is a movie or it's a song, right, with Bette Midler. The rose. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. But of course, roses are, the best. Roses are, the way that you express your love towards somebody else. So there is some kind of energy here connected to the rose. Somebody's name could also be Rose as well. But what we have here, what's being triggered in this connection for the both of you, this is connected to both of you. Let's read it. The future. The future. I've always pictured you to be a part of mine. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that things could go so wrong between us. Our deep bond has been ripped into shreds by deception. Oh my gosh, you guys. This deception, dishonor, lies. There it is. It's been ripped apart into shreds by deception, third parties, and trust issues. My future, I don't know what it holds, but now I know you won't be a part of it. Wow. I really feel like that's what's being triggered within the feminine, for sure. And this feminine is doing a really good job of figuring out what the next chapter is, okay? So she's not going to be lost in the shadow of what's happened here. It doesn't mean she's just going to, love and light it, forget about it, no big deal. But she's going to learn from it and be stronger and more discerning moving forward. If the masculine returns at some point, she's just going to be that much stronger. And then she can decide what works for her. So in a way, feminines, if you've given a lot of power over to this masculine, I really feel like you're pulling back your power here. And sometimes when we create that shift, it is amazing how it does change things in the future for the better. So feminine's willing to move forward no matter if the masculine's in her life or not. So that's what's being triggered within you, feminine. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and get a shadow card from the Soul Activation Oracle Shadows Edition by Rising Sun Oracle and see what the shadow is that pops up with this. actually move these to the side because we're going to take it one by one. Ooh, we have uncertain, interesting. Okay, so the crown chakra. What is the crown chakra? The crown chakra, of course, is how we connect with, the cosmos, how we connect with source, how we connect with the universe, how we feel plugged in, and how also I feel how we connect with this divine masculine, because it seems like it's not of this world. It seems like it's coming from like a very magical place. What I'm getting here, you guys, is that at some point with this masculine, you could have felt very, very secure. Like, this is my person. This is the one. This is what I've always imagined. It's going to be you and I together forever. Something is happening here. And we're not predicting that that could not be the future one day. But it seems like right now, especially if you're feeling kind of uneasy and you're not quite sure what's going on, it's probably best for you to let go of any kind of ideas that something has to happen, right? Something has to happen here. It doesn't have to happen. Nothing has to happen in life. Anytime that we feel like something has to happen in life, that means that we are too attached to it, too attached to that particular outcome. And sometimes that can be an energy that really, really destroys things. So what I'm getting here, feminine, is that if you're feeling blocked, like you can't move forward, it's probably best for you not to think in terms of happily ever after. This is exactly the person that's in my future. I just know it. Just have trust and faith that whatever spirit, whatever's meant for you will just be. And you don't have to really hold on to any kind of exact idea or picture, right? If this masculine is meant to be in your life and meant to be the one for you, obviously the universe will find a way to push the two of you back into alignment, but both people have to do the work in order to get there. So that's kind of like a if this person does this and if this person does that, then that will determine the future, right? So let's go into my Dark Night of the Soul tarot and see what's going on here. So I feel like this is definitely more of the feminine's trigger here. Things that have been triggered within her to where she has to deal with these certain things. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so the Three of Rage, you guys, is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of off in the distance, out into the future. Very interesting to me. Okay, in traditional tarot, the Rider-Waite actually shows the future with somebody that's looking out into the future, out into the ocean. So it's funny how that looks. We feel like it's up in flames. We feel like our future with this masculine has just gone up in smoke. So I feel that the reason that this is happening is because it's really helping this divine feminine to not get locked into this way of thinking that this masculine has to be the one. If we do that, what we're doing, you guys, is we are cutting ourselves off from all other opportunities to grow and to heal. And it's very, very important that you keep yourself somewhat open on this journey, open to growth, open to expansion, open to new ideas. If you have tunnel vision on one thing, like you can see right there, that's tunnel vision, you're really going to miss out on the bigger picture. And I'm not trying to tell you guys that you have to be with somebody else or, get together with somebody else. You do what works for you. But really try not to put all of your eggs into this person's basket and just focus on them. There are other things to focus on. So if you're feeling like, oh, this is all ruined, this was all for nothing, this is totally destroyed, that's also a way of we're missing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you have learned a lot. There's many things to celebrate about this connection. You've come so far. So what if it didn't turn out to be what you thought it was going to be? Nothing usually does, right? Life is unpredictable. That's why I don't really do future predictions, because people have free will to change shit up in a moment, and that will change everything, right? So the same thing goes with this masculine in you. You can change your mind. He can change his mind. Anything can change. So it goes both ways. Either this will happen or it won't happen, or it won't look the way that you think it's going to look. So best to kind of just pull away from expectations or being attached to a particular idea or the way that it's supposed to look. And just practice letting go and feeling free and growing and doing other things and celebrating your life in a different way. So that is what we have coming up for feminine here. Let's see what else we need to know. So now this says heartbreak. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky. I can't handle this pain anymore. It's tearing me into a million pieces. My heart is on the floor. I can't eat. I can't sleep. It's too much, too overwhelming. Let me just go to sleep and never wake up. I'll never recover from this grief, this heartbreak. I can't go on. You guys, this is very intense energy. That's very scary energy to me. If anybody is feeling this right now, I highly suggest you reach out and talk to someone, preferably a professional for sure, because this right here, I mean, sometimes we can't handle what's being triggered within us because that could be trauma from long ago, unresolved wounds and trauma from the past that we've never dealt with. And this person just happens to bring up our biggest fears, our biggest abandonment wounds, our traumas, etc. So sometimes people are catalysts for what we really need to heal. So definitely pay attention to that, you guys, for sure. But what this is telling me is that this could very well being triggered right now in someone in this connection. Now, because we just really tapped into the feminine's energy here, I feel like this could probably be more of your energy. So that's another reason why it's very important for you guys to find your own individual strength on this journey, to really, really make this journey about loving yourself more. Because the more time that I say this lightly, but the more time that you waste on fantasy and one day it'll all just magically work out, but yet we're ignoring all the signs and the work that we should probably doing, or even that this person needs to do. The more that we waste time in that dynamic, the more that we're just going to lose any kind of foothold in reality. And let's face it, you guys, we're living in a 3D world and we do have to survive. And 5D and this new earth and all these shifts and star seeds and all this stuff that we hear about all the time, that's great. But we still need tools to figure out how we're going to survive and manage ourselves here in reality. And that's just what type of reader I am. It's fun to tap into that energy, but to constantly be flying around in the clouds, it's not going to help you while you're trying to navigate your plan here and relationships on Earth. So that is what I'm getting here, is that if you're feeling a certain way, you've got to address that. You've got to figure out and start to take steps to heal right now. And I know I've been saying this a lot, but I share a lot of my own journey in my readings right now, due to a situation that I was just like, wow, like I just was really surprised how it just didn't work out. I'm taking a look at myself in the situation. I'm taking a look at what I can do to really fix something that might be broken within me, so I don't have to keep repeating these patterns over and over again. So I just entered into Codependence Anonymous. And for me, just reading about it and working the steps and connecting with an online group, it's really, really helped me tremendously. So there are certain things that we can start to do in order to take steps towards self-care. It's never too late to start that. All right, so now this masculine can also, I'm getting to, be very, very heartbroken and have a lot of trauma from his past. And he could be medicating himself with either things like this, or it can be other things like people, behaviors, etc., that just keep masking the pain. And I wouldn't be surprised, because this is kind of what we saw from the very beginning with this masculine, is that he is suppressing his emotions, and there's a real lack of growth and real lack of clarity on his emotions and who he is and how he feels, because he could be medicating himself. So I'm also getting that as well. It's not just all feminine's problems here. Irresponsible. Okay, so this to me is, we're switching gears now to masculine, because we just really tapped deeply into the feminine. Okay, now we're switching gears and going into this masculine. And the only reason I know that is because I was just talking about using substances or using things to check out, to numb the pain. There it is. So root chakra. So this red energy, you can see there's something at the root of the issue. And the root of the issue, you guys, is that masculine is still not dealing with something from the very beginning of life. There could be childhood stuff that he's still not, it's like a child that's still wounded, that still isn't able to really get into touch with who he truly is. So there's something that needs to happen here. And if that means that the separation or whatever has happened with you guys triggers some of this for him, then it's got to lead to somewhere. Now, whether it leads to somewhere positive or negative will be up to the masculine, but I just feel like something is definitely being triggered. And hurt people hurt others. If this masculine hurt you, feminine, if this masculine was very irresponsible and acted super careless with you and your heart and broke your heart, what I'm getting here, and this is not making an excuse for him, but he's coming from a very damaged place. And when people are damaged, how can we expect anything different, right? So really try not to take this so to heart. Really try not to take this so personally. Really try not to make all of this about you, as in you weren't good enough, or how could he betray me? How could he do this to me? This masculine has been, I feel, masking his pain for so long. He doesn't even know why he's doing what he's doing. So. Oof, Judgment. I do feel like this is probably triggered within feminine. It's very upsetting when someone screws you over. It's very, very upsetting when someone hurts you. You want to get even. You want them to see things. Like you want them to see things the way that you see things. But sometimes people don't, because they can't. They don't have the same empathy. They don't have the same tools to be able to reflect. So sometimes we're not going to be on the same page or see. I know it says eye for an eye, but I'm seeing eye to eye. We're not seeing eye to eye on this. And unfortunately, until you do that healing and do that inner work, then you're going to still be irresponsible with not only your life, but also the lives of others, including mine, which would be feminine, right? So judgment is also about making better judgment calls. So if someone is being, getting behind the wheel of a car, like that picture, that's very irresponsible. So guess what? Judgment is karma. Judgment is, consequences. So judgment is also about a life review, looking at our lives very deeply and saying, do I like the way that my life is going? How many times has the same thing popped up over and over and over again for me? How many times is this lesson going to come up before I really look it squarely in the eye and obliterate this problem or get rid of this behavior that's super toxic, that's ruining my life and the lives of others? How many times are we going to break people's heart because of our own shit? So judgment is connected to Pluto, and Pluto is all about death and transformation. So something definitely has to die off here, as in a behavior or an attitude or a coping mechanism. It's not working anymore. It needs to be transformed. So I feel like that's what's being triggered in both of you. It's like this major letting go and transformation, death of the old self. But we must face that deepest, darkest stuff within us in order to get there. And I feel feminine, you probably have done a lot of this work already. And I feel like the masculine, that's kind of the road he's on right now. It's almost like he's on the road to destruction. And until he meets until he meets his karma, or until he is looking something dead in the eye, that will be perhaps when he changes his life or has a wake-up call. But I feel like it hasn't 100% happened for him just yet. Wow, this is really deep. I said it was going to be a long one, and here it is. Okay, the best. I never expected us to be the best of friends so quickly, almost as if we've known each other before. And just when I started to get used to you being my best friend, you became my best love. I have a feeling the best is yet to come. So this to me is basically the source of your connection. When the two of you came together, there was just this understanding. It was a very, very natural energy that you guys shared. It was very fluid, very flowing, very comfortable. But I just feel that fear and obviously unresolved issues popped up, reared its ugly ass head, and started to sabotage and ruin everything. And that's usually what happens. People that have issues like this that are unresolved, they'll start to do certain things, such as, act strange, pull back, not say something, act passive aggressive or whatever. And it's an energy that you feel like something is off. And then somebody starts lying. They're not being honest with how they're feeling. And then just a whole muck of problems happen after that. So somehow you guys were connecting, and then at some point there was this major disconnect, and that's obviously what created all this, Seven of Swords business and hurt and betrayal. But to me, this is also the vibration of I can't duplicate what we had with anyone. I'm trying, but I can't. Because there is something special here. Yeah, so we have this heart chakra energy. So this really hits the heart center big time. Okay, so I feel that when this masculine is in his darkest, deepest hour with himself, where he is alone and he's not masking, he's not spending time with other people, he really, really connects with the energy of this feminine of she was the best. She was the best he was ever going to get. She was the best thing, then he let it go, he destroyed it, etc. There is definitely this feeling here that he's screwed up. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I'm seeing a masculine on this page or on this card, and I just feel that a lot of this darkness is coming from masculine. This issue. Not blaming him for everything, but it's just the way that it's shown up so far. Yeah. Six of Cups. Six of sorrow and loneliness, a connection that's been lost in time. Six of Cups is nostalgia, memories, thinking about someone, missing someone, wanting to reconcile with someone. So this is triggered here for sure. Now, you guys both feel it, of course. I do feel like you guys both probably pop up in each other's dreams. And whenever you wake up from that dream, you feel, lonelier than ever. You really ache for this person. They really ache for you because there's something about it that was just really, truly amazing. But somehow it got lost in all the shadow and all the unresolved darkness. So this is just what's being triggered right now and how people are dealing with it and what they're doing. So anyways, that's what we have. God, I really got to put some WD-40 on this chair. So now we're going to go into how is this masculine seeing the feminine? Okay. So even if he doesn't speak to her or actually see her, this is just the energy and the vibration that comes up for him. So we're going to break it down into 4 different categories: mental, emotional, physical world, and spiritual soul energy. So this right here, I've got my Divine Feminine Healing deck, my Twin Flame Journey Oracle, and my Twin Flame Journey Tarot. So let's break it down. How is this masculine seeing this feminine mentally? When he thinks about her or sees her, if he does, how is she coming to his mind? What energy pops up here? Ooh, very strong energy, you guys. Now, this may not resonate for everybody, but some feminines out there, you may have told this masculine to back off. You may have broke things off. You may have cut him off, blocked him, etc. So he sees it as you might not want anything to do with him. Your serious business, your Queen of Swords that took that sword and said, you're not going to treat me this way. Okay? But even if that didn't happen, sees you as someone who's very, very strong, that's holding boundaries right now. We have commitment. Some of you guys could be in a commitment with another person. That's not going to be for everybody. But I'm getting here, if that's not the case, it could also be that you're serious about commitment. And if this masculine cannot commit to you, you're not backing down. You're not backing down because you know what you want, feminine, and you're not willing to lower your standards just to have this masculine in your life. If he can't come correct, then it's almost like he knows not to come at all. Oh my God, yes. He sees you as divine feminine Empress energy. This is Taurus. This is Libra. It's just Venus all the way, right? There it is. So this masculine, it sees you as a divine feminine, sees you as a queen, sees you as somebody who knows their worth and is currently in their power. So if that was not always the case, feminine, you can congratulate yourself for doing the work, because something has shifted in his mind's eye when it comes to you in this connection. So he's seeing you for how you truly are. That's amazing. Okay. All right, let's take a look at that heart energy. Emotionally, when he feels the feminine's energy, what does his energy look like in his heart space? Oh my gosh. Shining star. This is like this. Oh my gosh. You will always stand out above all the rest. Guys, these cards are seriously like being, they're just being duplicated here. You are beautiful, you know. I search for you endlessly. There's just something there where you shine out above all the rest. There's just this one of a kind energy. You're that shining star. So yeah, that's what we have. All right, let's go ahead and get some more energy here. Oh my gosh, union. Okay, it could be that this masculine deep down in his heart space does believe perhaps one day that it will be you and him. The reason that I'm saying that is because it does say, I have a feeling the best is yet to come. So even if you and this masculine right now are not together, we know that he dreams, and also he thinks about reunion, coming together with you. So you can see these beings like this is a dream. Right? This is just energy. This is a physical union. So I feel like this masculine is coming through this reading today, letting you know, feminine, that in his heart of hearts, he truly believes that perhaps it's like he's saving the best for last. I don't know. Isn't that a Vanessa Williams song? A lot of songs are coming up. So that's interesting. What else? We have... But guess what, you guys? It's not going to be easy, and he knows it. Seven of Wands, defense mechanism, like he's really, really going to have to battle it, meaning he's going to have to be strong and fight for this, you guys. This is not, he's just going to come back really and just slide right in. No, not at all. Because I feel that this feminine has been working on herself either for quite some time, or like she's just recently really taken her power back, and because of this, it's not going to be so easy to just pop back into her life. Like he's going to have to work for it. He's going to have to fight for it. He's going to have to be stronger than he was before, because this weak version is not going to do it for this feminine, and he knows it. And it could be that he does come back and you realize that he's not this strong version that he should be, and that he's still not ready, and that you basically don't let him back in. That could be it as well, feminine. You just never know. So that's the heart space. All right, let's take a look at that energy of the physical world, okay? What is this physical world energy? This could also be physical desire. Ooh, we have broken promise. Interesting. What I'm getting here with this is that when he's ready, he wants to actually make this right. So broken heart, remember heartbroken, broken promise, broke promises to you. This masculine is basically coming through this reading right now and saying that when the time is right, I am going to make things right. I'm going to, make this up to you for breaking your heart, for breaking these promises to you. I'm going to make it right. Yeah, I'm going to fix this. Wow. We have guide. So even though right now it seems like he's not really connected to his higher self, he's not really connected to his emotions, when the time is, when he's ready, when he's in his operating from higher self, when he is doing the work, when he is actually working with his guides and he's connecting, that will be when he is guided to come back to this feminine and make these wrongs right. Wow. Oh my gosh, yes, the Four of Swords, healing and recovery. So right now where he's at physically and where he sees this connection right now is that it's best to kind of stay back. It's best to allow more time with Four of Swords for healing and recovery. But when the recovery has done, he wants to recover this connection with this feminine. Wow, all right. Let's go ahead and get the last one, which is the soul energy here. How does he feel this feminine on a soul level? Wow, match. What I want is also seeking me. And it is that energetic frequency that will draw these 2 points together. So feminine, he sees you as his match. He sees you as that person, that star-crossed lover. And he sees you as that feminine for him. He sees you as the one. Now, this doesn't make any guarantees that because he feels this way or sees you this way, that he's going to have the strength and the courage to pull this off. But I do feel that on a soul level, he does feel like you guys are meant to come together again, that you guys will be drawn together again at some point. And I'm not saying he's waiting for that, but, you know, if he's not really in touch with himself right now, he might not be able to connect with that energy. Ooh. Remember all the beginning messages connected to the masculine? Let me try to find them again. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. What do we got here? Cleanse and purge. Wow. So even though right now it seems like he's lacking in these departments, it won't always be the case. Looks to me like once he purges something, then he's going to be open to doing some sort of work. And that's when his frequency is going to be different, when the two of you may match up together. So on a soul level, knows the work he needs to do. I'm also getting, too, that he sees the feminine, that she has purged him, that she has let him go to some degree in a healthy way. And he feels the disconnect. He feels her pulling his energy or her energy away from him. Ooh, and what it does is it causes him to dream about her even more. It causes him to be in a state of illusion, just kind of not really know, how things are going to go. It causes him to feel a little bit of lost and confused. So some of you feminines have been providing energy for this masculine for quite some time. And now that you're pulling some of that back and just kind of taking care of you and doing you, this masculine is losing a little bit of that juice, if that makes sense, right? You've been supplying him for a while, and I feel like you're no longer supplying that for him. So it makes him a little confused and lost. But what it does is it also causes him to dream about you more and to think about you more and to miss you more. So whatever it is that you guys are doing, I just feel like good for you. So that's what we have. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and get some messages from your masculines, higher self to you. So we're going to start off with a heart song. This right here is the deck called Heart Songs by Celestial Forecast by Carrie. Let's get a heart song. Song straight from the masculine's heart to yours, feminine. And I'm getting You're My Shining Star, Don't You Walk Away, Hey Baby. I don't know who sings that, but that's coming through too. Okay. We have Go All the Way by Raspberries. I've never heard of that group or this song. So this is what we have. Baby, please go all the way. It feels so right being with you here tonight. Please go all the way. Just hold me close. Don't ever let me go. Okay. So this is kind of matching up with this energy from the past when we talked about how you and this masculine connect. And here it is. I need you now. Come closer. I feel you slipping away. So this, I feel, is where this masculine's heart space is right now. you're letting him go. And it's like he doesn't want to disconnect with the energy because he's felt it for so long. It's actually kind of, kept him feeling somewhat secure and safe. And even though, you may be connected to him in a very loving way and you want to support him on his journey, I feel like sometimes when we start taking care of ourselves, that energy can kind of shift, but it is shifting in a positive way. But if this masculine is used to feeling all of your energy all the time, feminine, because you're giving all of it to him, and then you kind of switch gears, he is going to feel a little bit of that shift, and it's going to feel a little off for him. And I just feel right now it feels off. It feels off because like you're finally like taking care of you and doing you. Maybe it's been a long time. All right, so these decks right here are from All Things Intuitive. So I'm going to grab a card from each of these decks and get some messages from the masculine's higher self to you, feminine. All right, what does this masculine want this feminine to know right now? Oh, I will show you some signs and synchronicities. So if you guys are hearing any of the songs, they just pop up on their own, I feel like that is a sign and a synchronicity that your masculine is thinking about you and what he's thinking when you hear it. So be sure that you pay attention, okay? What else? I have too much to lose. So right now, your masculine does want you to know that whatever it is that he's holding on to, that toxic energy, toxic cycle, he feels like he can't lose it right now. So he is admitting to you that even though he knows it's probably not good for him and that he feels all these things, he feels like he just has too much to lose and can't give it up right now. Okay. So no better time, feminine, than to just continue to keep doing you. I know I made a mistake. Well, we already know that this masculine does feel like he needs to make the wrongs right for the mistakes that he's made. So don't think for a second he's not sorry for what he's done. And I knew, I just said that. I knew exactly what I was doing. This masculine is no fool. This masculine isn't playing dumb. Even if he has played dumb in the past, he knows that he can't bullshit you, feminine. So he knew exactly what he was doing when he did it. He's not pretending like he didn't know any better. He knew better. He knew he was hurting you, but he hurt you anyways. And does that mean that he's evil, that he has an evil heart? No, it just means that he has a damaged heart. And when people are damaged and broken, they're usually going to damage and break other people too. And that's exactly what this is all about. So he knew what he was doing. He knew that he made a mistake. He knows he screwed up. He knows he should have done things differently, but he didn't have the tools at that time to do it any other way. That's why it's very important, feminine, that you don't take this too personally and that you just don't continue to take the poison with you on your journey ahead, okay? Just really release all that heaviness so you can move forward in a lighter way. All right, let's go ahead and get some more messages here. Okay, so this deck is, again, from Aqua Moonlight, and this is the Untold Messages of the Heart, Volume 2. Magic. I've been calling you back to me. Do you feel my energy? Wow. Yeah. Come closer. There it is. I feel you slipping away. What have we been talking about this whole time, you guys? The more that you let go of this masculine, the more he's actually coming closer to you. And it's not a game. You're not doing this to get a reaction. This is just naturally taking place. When you stop chasing someone, when you stop giving all of your time and dedication to something, especially if that person doesn't want it or isn't giving you anything in return, it is amazing how when you pull back your energy and you just stop focusing on it and taking care of yourself, how magically everything just starts to turn around. And that's exactly what's being said here. Layers. Wow, layers. So where did I see this for feminine? Let's look at this. Where was that for her? Chapters. Very similar to me. There is more than meets the eye. The way I act isn't a true reflection of my feelings. Wow. So this is also indicating to the feminine that the way that the masculine acted at that time with her was not because, it wasn't black and white. I just don't care about you, or I just, don't feel that way for you. We very much know that there's some kind of, magical star-crossed feeling here for this masculine and for feminine. So that's why, again, it's also very important for you to just not personalize this. Do not take the thing that was done, the lie that was said. Don't make the other person that he may have cheated on you with that's the issue. No. That has nothing to actually do with you. That has everything to do with this masculine. So really, really know that there are a lot of things. Layers, I feel, also confirms for us that this masculine has been layering things for a very long time. So it's very hard for him to even connect with who he truly is or how he truly feels because of all of these layers that he has been laying for years. So it's going to take some time for him to peel back those layers before he can get to the center, the core center, which is his heart. So he's telling you this, feminine. And we have clean. I've been cleaning up my life and my act. I don't want to live a low vibrational life any longer. So he is telling you here that he does plan to get clean. He does plan to look at himself and to start to purge, to start to cleanse, to start to heal. And that's going to take some emotional work, maybe even some tears, maybe even really, really doing that deep shadow work that a lot of people don't want to face or do because it's very, very difficult and it's really hard. But the masculine the masculine doesn't have to do anything, but the masculine, it would really do him some good to do this work. Okay. So a lot of the reasons that you connected with him, a lot of the reasons that things happened and went down the way that they did is for the two of you to be able to really impact each other in this very powerful way to do the work. And I feel that that's probably why you haven't been able to, forget about one another, for however many years this has been, is because there's always that recognition of, work that you need to do because of that person that you once hurt, or I don't want to be this version of myself, etc. You always have that catalyst for your growth or that person of inspiration in your life that kind of helps you to keep going. And even though we don't want to give that person that much power over us, with these types of connections, it just you just naturally feel connected to it. So try not to fight it, but try not to obsess about it either. Try not to make it your entire world. Your entire world really should be connected to source first and foremost, and then everything else is secondary. Okay? So that is what we have from masculine to feminine. So why don't we go ahead and get some messages from Spirit? Basically, just advice for this connection. All right. So this is my twin flame angel numbers deck. Let's see what angels have numbers and messages for us. Ooh, I love this. We have 1111. So numbers are coming through. If you guys are seeing 1111s a lot, which is really interesting. I mean, I've always seen it, but I've been seeing it more lately than normal. Awakenings and activations are at hand. Be on the lookout for signs guiding the way. So when I've been seeing it, I know I'm on the right path. Whatever is happening, whatever I'm feeling in that moment, whatever important decisions or big shifts that I'm making in my life, I know I'm on the right path when I see 1111. So pay attention to when you guys are seeing this, how you're feeling or what you're thinking in that moment, and just realize that you are being shown the way. You're being guided towards your best life. And even if that includes going in another direction right now, away from this connection, you can't fail when you're taking care of yourself. We have 777. Honor your shadow self and let it reveal any hidden mysteries to you. A completion is near. Fantastic. So we are embracing our feelings. We're embracing our shadows. We're embracing what we need to embrace so that way we can feel it in order to heal it, right? So this is happening right now on the journey. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Learn to dance with that energy. Learn to make your shadows work for you. We also have 945. Step into your senses as a way of communicating with your twin flame on an intimate level. So I already know that a lot of this, if you guys have been resonating with this message so far, a lot of you guys are in separation with this particular masculine, and that you guys are connected to them through maybe telepathy, meditation, dreams, energy, downloads, etc. So just if you want to connect with this person, step into your senses by meditating. Step into your senses just from a calm place and connect. And just feel the energy, feel what's there. Now, don't get lost or wrapped up in there or only want to reside in that world. We still have a life to live here on earth, right? But whatever it is that's coming through, pay attention to it, feel it, write it down, experience it, Do what you need to do in order to clear whatever is coming through or to work, or just kind of, apply that wisdom, whatever's coming through. Okay, so this deck is from Medium on a Mission called When Spirit Speaks. So let's take a look and see that 1111. What is this 1111 wanting to tell us? Tell us a little bit more about 1111. Ooh, we have balance. Love this. This is great. So this is about knowing that you guys are on the right path. I know that sometimes when people see 1111, it's like anything in life. A lot of things I feel get blown out of proportion with twin flames, twin flame concepts, connections, everything, where people really just get lost. Maybe they take it and they obsess on it, or they take that label and they apply it to a really toxic person or situation because they don't want to let it go. Spirit is going to eventually continuously show you things on ways to balance your life. So if this particular masculine is not right for you in this life, what I'm getting here is that Spirit is going to do everything that they can to try to show you the way. To show you the way back to center, back to yourself, so that way you can make the best decisions for you. If this masculine, after a lot of this healing and work has been done, is the best person for you, Spirit will also help you to align you with that. So remember, it's like the very beginning of the reading, what I was talking about is being on this journey, but being on this journey with less expectations than you had before. Having a healthier mindset, having a more balanced energy while you're on this journey. That will serve you better instead of being hopped up on a fantasy or, this has to happen, or when is this going to happen? That's just all anxiety. That's trauma bonding. That's trauma attachment, that's codependency, toxic, obsessive behavior. I don't want to be any of those things. I want to be here. I want to be centered. So like I was sharing with you guys before, when things go out of whack in my life, you know what I do? I come back to center and I say, what the hell do I need to look at within myself? What do I need to fix within? Because something's getting out of whack again. And if I'm not feeling good inside, that's probably what it has to do with, right? So come back to center when we see that 1111. Let's make it about us instead of our divine masculine. A lot of people do tend to use 1111 as a crutch to stay obsessed or to stay plugged in or to create, like I should reach out to my masculine, even though, and this is just an example, this masculine has blocked you on all social media. This masculine has another life, girlfriend, wife, whatever the situation is. This masculine has said, do not reach out to me. This masculine has a restraining order against you. When you see 1111 and all those things are going on, I really highly doubt that Spirit is suggesting to you to reach out to your masculine. Now, when I just said that, I'm kind of saying that in a very condescending way. I mean to, because sometimes people will use that number and make it what they want to make it. Why don't we try making it about ourselves? We're on the right path. What we're doing right now in our lives to better ourselves, we're on track, right? And when the timing is right for this union or connection, that'll be something that naturally occurs. when it comes to things that are meant to be, you guys, we don't need to force anything. Anything that you have to force or chase or run after constantly or are constantly in turmoil over. There is nothing divine about that. Nothing divine about that energy at all. That's a bunch of shadow. That's a bunch of trauma that needs to be worked through. I believe that you can get to that place with people that maybe you once had trauma with or once had a lot of anxiety with. You can possibly get to that destination together, but that requires both people to do the work. You know what I mean? But when you have just a shit show of a situation and it's a constant struggle and this and that, I highly doubt that Spirit would be sending you 1111 to tell you, reach out to that person, continue to stay obsessed with this person, continue to make this person your entire focus, the entire focus of your life. Spirit is not doing that. We are creating that story, not Spirit. So we just need to be somewhat discerning with these numbers that we're seeing. Let's make sure that when we see them, that we're not creating a story, that we are just feeling really calm when we're seeing these numbers. What does this bring up in you? What does it say about you? What does it inspire you to do next on your journey? What positive things does it bring up in you? Not what anxieties does it bring up in you? That's when we know the difference, whether this is really truly coming from Spirit or when it's coming from something else. Because there's a lot of energy in the world, a lot of frequency that is here to confuse us and fuck us up. So the more that you're centered and the more that you're focused in yourself and connected to your true divine source, the less that this energy around you is going to jam you up and take you off your path, right? So anyways, that's why we have this 777 number coming through. Shadow work. The only way that you're going to be able to be discerning and strong against these frequencies, and it's not just spirits and energy and frequencies, it's fucking people, man. There's a lot of people on this planet that are just fucked. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. And I understand, you don't want to take that poison with you, but sometimes you can't forget what somebody did because that's the only thing that's going to save your ass when they try to come back into your life, and you're not going to let them back in. So our shadow is not there to be demonized. It is there to be honored, that it's operating in our lives for a reason. So that's why we've got to honor it in order for it to reveal to us what we need to know. So to me, this is light, this is dark, and let's be balanced right in the middle. And that really is a better way to operate in this life, because if you don't, you're going to have extreme highs and extreme lows. And I've seen a lot of people on this journey, go from they're in the spiritual community, and all of a sudden they have some experience or whatever, and it doesn't work out. And then all of a sudden tarot is evil. Working with angels are evil. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a big person. That happened. I've actually seen it happen to two smaller people in this community where I'm just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, what? Why are you going from one extreme to the other? You were all about love and light and all this other stuff, and no shadow at all. It was all angels and positive vibes all the time, never doing any shadow work, never connecting in that way ever that I've seen on their channels. Same thing with Doreen Virtue. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it's like, now all of a sudden, this is evil. What? That's because there's a lack of balance there. So you can completely just get off kilter with your own journey if you are not balanced in both dark and light. And I've gone to extreme dark, not extreme light ever. I've gone to extreme dark, and that has also taken me off my path. That almost destroyed me plenty of times. So it works both ways, right? So it's an application every single day and a devotion every single day to connecting to center with yourself and with source to stay right here. If you're not, and you don't have that strong relationship with your higher power, or, just even yourself, you will kind of be on the seesaw and this wave constantly. You know what I mean? So sorry to go on that tangent, but that's the message I'm seeing with that. Intensity, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this is the thing. This is about rage. This is about things that you feel intensely. intense shadow work, right? Honor what comes up in you, you guys, because sometimes these things can be used in a positive and transformative way, you know? So anybody that's telling you that, your shadow is bad or anything that negative that you feel, it's somehow going to create more. I'm just trying to figure that out, how blocking out our emotions and pretending that we don't feel things when we do is helpful. I don't get it, but, to each their own. We got to feel it so that way we can heal it. So whatever's coming up in you guys, use this energy in a constructive and safe way and really work with it and let it speak to you. Let it reveal to you what you need to know. Sometimes when you allow yourself to feel certain things, that's the only way that you can transmute that energy. Okay? So, like I said before in this reading, if some of you guys are feeling some very intense things and you guys need to work with like a professional, I definitely suggest seeking that out for sure, because sometimes shadow work can be very intense. So it's very easy for me to say on my channel, oh, just do some shadow work. Well, I'm very comfortable with shadow work. So it's when somebody says that to me, I'm very, very comfortable in dark. I have always been very comfortable with dark. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very intense. I like intense energy. I like intense light and dark. You know what I mean? Like I like both. But the thing is, sometimes that doesn't work for people. Sometimes it's like, ooh, that shadow work, it's too much. It's too dark. I can't do it. So maybe working with someone that does shadow work or trauma therapy, things like that would be positive for this journey. So now we've got 945. So while you're perhaps in separation with your person, just step into your senses as a way to connect with them. So again, I feel like that goes back to, well, if I see this number, that means I need to call. Now, I'm not saying that can't be the case for someone out there. Sometimes people put up boundaries for a reason, and we should respect them. So if someone has you blocked, right? Maybe that's spirit's way of letting you know that maybe you shouldn't contact that person. And if you do contact that person and you're blocked, and you try to reconnect with them, it's almost like the energy was off to begin with. And so you probably shouldn't have done it. It's probably not going to work out. So just try to pay attention to things. Try to pay attention to signs. And yes, just trust that spirit is leading the way. Okay. So right now, even if it's just an energetic connection, just trust that whenever it is meant to come back into a physical connection, a physical union, that's something that is just going to open up. That is something that is going to naturally or even magically occur. And it probably won't be when we're thinking about it. It probably won't be when we're planning for it or planning on it. It'll probably just happen when we least expect it. And that's always a nice surprise, right? So anyways, you guys, I know that these messages were kind of deep today, but I kind of just felt it from the very beginning that it was going to be deep, that we were going to tap into some shadows, which I know is not everybody's favorite, but I know that some of you guys that are serious about your journeys and about your own healing, I know that you guys don't mind it because you know that it's required. You know that it is, necessary, absolutely necessary. And for those that are triggered, I don't know what to say. It kind of is what it is, But let's go ahead and just end this reading with some energies kind of unfolding moving forward. So we're going to go into the connections for the Modern World Oracle and the connections of the Modern World Tarot that I created with my daughter, Kayla Reed Creations. And we're also going to add in these signs from Spirit Love Oracle because I didn't include that with this other setup that I had. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to grab these first. Ooh, we have toxic and we have commitment. Very interesting. So early on, remember we had commitment, and it was the way that the masculine was actually viewing the feminine. He was viewing the feminine as stand back boundaries when it came to commitment, okay? Knowing that whatever he brought her before wasn't good enough. And if he were to try to bring her something less than what she deserves, she's not going to take it. Okay, so there's some kind of message here about that. And we have dormant. Okay, what is this energy about? What's this toxic energy about? The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands has exhausted self-improvement and pressure. Okay, so Nine of Wands, this card is basically suggesting that we need to improve ourselves, that we need to basically get rid of anything that is exhausting us, anything that's pressuring us, anything that's toxic. So I feel like what Spirit's saying here is that moving forward, this is work that both masculine and feminine are doing. They're working on clearing themselves. They're working on improving their lives. They're working on themselves. So that's fantastic. Ooh, wasp. So the wasp is definitely a sting. We also have jealousy. This is all ego here, right? Wasps are also like bullies. They'll go into colonies and totally take them over. So there's definitely some sort of an energy here where something stings, something hurts, something is toxic, something has the ability to basically kind of exhaust us, overwhelm us, take us down. Nine of Wands is also a card where we are really needing to kind of hang in there and continue to keep our guard up. So self-improvement is the way towards that. If you want to become healthier and strong and have better boundaries with people, this is about working on the self. So I feel like that's kind of what this feminine and masculine are facing. They're facing these feelings or energies in their life where this needs to improve. And the only way kind of through that darkness is to start working on these things. So I feel like it's a combined effort. They're both doing some sort of work. They're both getting rid of toxic energy. They're both, with that snake energy, shedding old skin. So that way they can go into a renewed cycle. That's great. So let's see what that commitment energy is about. We have the Four of Swords. Very interesting. The Four of Swords actually came up in the physical world. So where things are at in the physical world, their commitment coming together is on hold. We have sanctuary, time of rest, and withdrawal. So even in the future, guys, it looks like you guys are still in this healing and recovery phase. You guys are still working on yourselves, improving your lives on a solo level, which is great. So we don't have to see that as a negative. We can actually see this as a positive. We can see this as some work is being done here. We're healing, we're recovering. Yeah. And hammer it's like forcing it. Like the forces of the universe are in a way forcing us to have to look at ourselves. So some hard shit's happening. Some stuff is coming up that stings. Some hard lessons, hard knocks are coming up, right? Maybe some shit's falling apart a little bit, but sometimes when we're dragging our feet, Spirit does have a way of coming into our lives. And it's not saying we don't have free will, because we do, but creating some sort of forces that show us the way, that help us to see things very, very clearly. And that is what's happening here in the future. It's like, well, you've been dragging your feet for too long. Let me go ahead and give you a shove. That's what's happening. And it has something to do with this connection, coming back together, committing to one another, coming back together in this union. So now we have dormant energy. Dormant is stale. Ooh, we have balancing, karma, harsh truths, or hard truths, and integrity. Ooh. So stuff that's been dormant, karmic cycles that have just been kind of left open are going to be concluded, are going to be forced to be moved through. This energy is going to get balanced one way or another, and Spirit is going to have some sort of hand in it. Why? Because this dormant energy can just no longer remain. This dormant energy is hidden. People are stagnating. People are not growing in that dormant energy. People are shoving something down. So it's now deep. These layers, we know these layers that this masculine has been layering for a long, long time. This energy is about ready to be balanced. This energy is about ready to be handled. I'm kind of getting here whether he wants it or not. It's happening. Yes. This orange energy is the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is about our intimacy. It's about how we connect with other people. So that's what it is. It's like acting with integrity when it comes to people that you're connecting with. It's also about opening yourself up to like on a deep, intimate level with someone, really exchanging energy that, we're letting people in. We're no longer holding them back or putting up walls with people. So there is something that's happening here in the sacral chakra for someone. I believe it's the masculine in the future, and there are forces kind of beyond our understanding that are intervening, that are really pushing this healing to take place because it's been long enough. That's just what I'm getting here, you guys. And on the bottom of the deck, I have coins, support. So you have a lot of support. Not only is this support in the form of your spiritual team, your spirit guides, your angels, but also this is in the form of people that you know. This can be support groups. This can be your family members, your friends. These can be professionals that are there to help you and support you on your journey. So whatever support it is that you guys need, I highly suggest making those connections or reaching out if you need to. So that is what I have for you guys today. I know that was a long and deep and kind of dark one, but sometimes I just like to get in there and just go super deep. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys got something positive and empowering out of that. So for me, this was kind of like a divine masculine, like where your masculine is at, kind of like some karmic consequences, divine masculine confessions, divine feminine empowerment. I swear it was like all those readings combined. So anyways, that's what I have for you. So thanks so much, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.